Hello everyone, it's Shanna. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be making a card with my Spellbinders kits of the month. They finally came in just a couple days ago. It seems like they're getting later and later on arrival. But what I get is the embossing folder of the month, and this is called Christmas Wrap Pattern. And I get the clear stamp and die of the month, which is called Pine Cones and Holly. So that's what I'm going to be working with today. And I kind of have an idea in mind where I'm headed. I'm going to use a card panel, this color. I think it's going to be fun. And with this, I'm going to take and use my embossing folder. So I'm just going to pull it out. Sorry for all the paper rattling. And I'm just going to get my water. I like to spritz it a little bit. And I really like this color. It's very different, I think, for Christmas, but I think it's going to look really nice. So I'm just going to spritz this a little bit and then fold it over and run it through my die cutting machine. And I've got a real nice embossed pattern. It did kind of curl a little bit, but I'm not ready to use it. So I'm going to set it aside with something heavy on it and let it flatten out. Here's the back side of it. So we'll just do that. And then I'm actually going to grab another piece of that paper for my stamp. So I'm going to grab my Misty, which I put everything away nicely the other day. I've been doing VBS, as I mentioned, and so I haven't had a lot of time, but it just worked out that my grandbabies, I was finished with them a little bit early than I normally am, so that gave me just a few minutes to play around before I have to get ready to go to VBS. So my thought was to use this blue again, and I was going to use the center of this stamp set here on this, and I kind of have a plan. I think I know where I'm headed. So I'm going to take my stamp and pull the center of this. Now this I'm just going to gently, and I have not used this yet, obviously, because I'm just now opening it. I'm just going to pull it off there gently, and I'm just going to kind of center it. It doesn't have to be exact because I'm die cutting this out. That's why I'm using two different pieces of pattern paper, because I'm going to have some layering on top of that. So I think this is going to turn out. I hope it is, with what I have in mind. And I'm just going to stamp it. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to run my fingers across it and see if I can get it stamped. I'm trying to get my table not to jar so much. My camera is attached to my desk, so it wobbles when I am pressing and doing stuff like that. So I've just got this white pigment ink, and my pad is dirty because I don't know what I did. But anyway, I'm just going to ink this up real well, I hope, and get it ready to go. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute because I need to use my my little bag here because I am going to foil or emboss. So I'm just going to run that across there real quick and get that ready. And then I'm just going to ink this up some more. I want to get it inked up real well. And I'm hoping this is going to turn out. I wish I had some gold. I don't have any gold pigment ink, and I wish I did because I thought, wow, that would look really cool. So I'll have to get some, and then I'll be able to, I just dropped that. I'll be able to make some things with that, and I think that'll look really neat. Now, what did I do with my pressing tool? I just put everything away and cleaned up because I knew I wasn't going to be able to craft for a while, so who knows where it is, but I'm just going to press down with my fingers. And while I'm doing that, I'll pick up my lid to my ink pad that I just dropped on the floor. Oh, I've got I guess I have a little bit of story time to tell you. So yesterday I was at the splash pad with the kids. We have a new splash pad in town, and it's really, really cool. That moved on me. I'm going to try and set it back down there, and hopefully we can re-ink again. Anyway, and my husband called me and said, well, you're going to have to take the kids to their house this afternoon. Normally they're at my house, and we have our little routine and everything, but our air went out yesterday. So, and of course, you know, it's when we're supposed to get all of these really, really hot temperatures that it went out. So so we did. We went to their house, which they have a pool, and so we played in the pool and had fun and did that. But he called heating and air conditioning company, and they came out and checked it out, and it was a bad board. And of course they have to order it. So we're waiting for that board to come in. They said maybe possibly today, but probably tomorrow. So we managed to get through the night okay. It was about 77 degrees in our house, so that wasn't too bad. We had all of our fans on, and we've got a little box fan. And I told my husband, I said it was like when we were little kids and we didn't have air conditioning and we just had our box fans that we'd put in the window. But we didn't even open up the house because the humidity has been so bad. We were afraid to open the house up and get the humidity. At least, you know, at 77 we didn't have the humidity in the house, so we didn't open it up. So anyway, then this morning I just got up and went to my daughter's house and stayed with the kids there all day, and then until I was able to come home. And we're still at 77 in here, so we're holding our temperature all right. But that is our current state of affairs. So I think I've got this inked up pretty well and glazed up pretty well. So hopefully this will emboss okay. And this is my first go around. So I suppose if I did it multiple times, I'd probably even get an even better stamping. But I'm going to go ahead and grab my embossing tool and get this baby embossed. Okay, so I think I've got all of that heated up, so that'll be good to go. Now I'm going to just let that, what I'm going to do is die cut that out because this does come with dies. I'm going to let it sit there for a minute and cool off. And in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do on my center, because this stamp set has got a piece that you can die cut that middle out. So I think what I'm going to do is pull that out, and then I'll use that on this. This is just a black piece of paper that I had already cut some out of. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this Merry Christmas and emboss that on there as well. So I'm going to get my little bag here and just kind of, and for the life of me I can't think of what that's called. Just kind of get that ready. And I'm going to get my stamps. Where's my Misty? I need to grab it and get ready to go. So lay this aside, bring this in, and just make sure I have enough space to, so I'm just going to put it down on there somewhere where I have enough space where I hope that I can get it lined up as nicely as they had it on the carrier sheet. And I think what I'll do is put it down, and I'm going to use the Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm going to use them both. This is where you have trouble just kind of getting them lined up how you want to. And I really liked, like I said, I liked how that was laying on there. That's pretty close, I think. Okay, so I have not taken this off yet, so I've got to get this off of there. And I also have got to get it cleaned up. Now this thing is, it's a pretty big stamped area on the corner, so you got to kind of be gentle as you pull it up so that you don't tear it or stretch it or anything like that. I don't know if my stamp chamois is not real wet, but we'll get that cleaned off, get this cleaned up a little bit. Should be okay. All right, now I think I'm ready to pick up my Merry Christmas. Boy, that looks nice and clean, doesn't it? Okay, I didn't get my paper laid down, but that's okay. I'm going to get it right here in the corner where I want it. And then we'll get it stamped down. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to do the same thing, only it's going to be on the black. So I'm going to use my white pigment ink pad and just get it inked up. Like I said, I haven't used this one either, so it might take multiple passes to get it where we want it. Yeah, I don't like how my year looks. So Sometimes I feel like I need to be careful and not ink it up too much, because then it kind of runs your letters together, but then you want to get enough to where you can see what you've got. So hopefully that'll be all right. I think that's going to be okay. So move this out of the way, bring my paper back in. Uh-oh, I'm spilling it. So, oh, here's what I'm going to do. I didn't pour it back in. I forgot to pour it back in, so I'm just going to pour it on there. I guess that's what happens when you haven't crafted for a couple days. You get a little out of practice. But that'll work just fine. All right, so we've got that. I'm just gonna go over and grab my heat gun. Okay, so I need to, first of all, let's get this back in here. And then I don't know if I can get this scooped up or not. Well, I got some of it. Okay. And then we'll just wipe the rest away. Get my little dryer sheet and get rid of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and line this up and see how this will look. Hopefully it'll be all right. I'll probably have to put some, maybe rub it with a little damp cloth to get that powder off of there. Try and get this lined up. How's that look? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run it through my die cutting machine. Okay, so there's our sentiment, and we've got our panel here that needs to be die cut out. And then we've got our panel that we're going to lay down on here. So we'll just get going on this. I'm going to get my die for this. Okay. And this is a pretty big die here. So we need to figure out, I think it goes this way. Yeah, that's how it goes, right like that. And then try and get it lined up pretty nicely. That looks pretty good. Oh, so I'll grab a couple more pieces of tape. I feel like it needs to go up just a smidgen. All right, we're going to give that a shot. Run this through the die cutting machine. Okay, now what I plan to do is put that on the inside of that. Now I think you could just die cut that away and actually have it on the inside of your card if you wanted. And I think what I'm going to do is take this particular die, where have I stuck it? And I'm going to die cut out some more pieces for it so that I can layer it up a little bit more. I think that'll look nice. Okay, so I have decided I am going to go ahead and die cut this out because I think I'm going to have my black lay on my lay right on my embossing panel, my embossed panel that I have, and have this kind of poke up through it. So I'm just going to try and get this lined up. I don't know how perfectly this will be with it having that white edge around it. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping it cuts out all right. We'll see. All right, so I'm just going to die cut it out real quick. Okay, and this is what we got. Oh, I did a pretty good job getting that white edge on there, so good. That's all right. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is grab my card base, and I just had my trimmer out and was just making a whole bunch of bases because I had ran through all of them, and so I just cut a bunch of them up, and so now I've got a whole stack of side folding, top folding, A2 size bases that are ready to roll. So I'm pretty happy with that. I love to when I'm making cards to just have them ready to go. It's kind of frustrating when I don't have one and I'm kind of onesie-twosie in it. I'd rather have them all ready to go. And I did not do a very good job of lining that up. Okay, I think it'll be all right. Okay, so, and I decided not to do the picture-in-picture because I've been having some trouble with my sound, and besides that, my hair is just a total mess today. So I'm not gonna worry about trying to do a picture-in-picture video. I don't think it's that important that you see my face anyway. So I'm just gonna get some strips here and get my non-stick scissors, which I'm loving. And I just picked those up at Michael's, these scissors. These are Westcott's, what they're called. I've been doing some local, well, you know, they're big box, I guess, craft stores, but like Michael's and Joann's. I've been picking up stuff locally at those stores, and I've been having fun with it, and I've been getting some good sells, which that's been nice. I've enjoyed that because I'm try to get my craft materials inexpensively. Oh, the other thing too is we've been doing I'm in this Friends of LV, Crafty Friends of LV, I think is what it's called, or something to that nature. I'll link it. But anyway, I'm in that group, and that's a lot of fun. And we're having a Christmas in July gift exchange with the group, and so that's been fun. I sent my gift right out, but I haven't got mine yet, but I'm looking forward to getting it. I've been having some little secret Santa questions about types of things that I would like. So I know that my secret Santa is working on it. So I'm excited to get that and see what I get. That'll be fun. And then I was excited to be able to give some stuff too. So this is what I had in mind. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to layer these up. And I haven't figured out yet, so you're going to find out with me if I'm going to layer that or if this is going to be layered. I think this is the part that's going to be layered up. So I've got a little bit of tape from where I taped that down on my, I don't know why, it must have been on my board because I didn't tape these down because I was just using a whole bunch of black paper just to. So I've actually got 4 of these, the extra 3 ones, and then the one that I stamped on. And so I've got 3 of those. So I'm going to have some good dimension going on here. And that doesn't look as straight as I want it to be. Come on. I find that sometimes I don't put enough glue on because I do such thin amounts that you don't have as much movement as you would if you put a little bit more on. So I gotta remember that when I'm trying to layer these up, that you're not going to get it to move if you don't have enough glue on there. So this is, I think it's taken me a minute with the die cutting and stuff, but this is a fairly easy card. I think it's kind of pretty. So this is what I kind of had intended for this, was that we'd have, make sure I get it lined up really well and pressed down. We would kind of have this sitting in the center of that. And then I wonder what it would look like if I laid that flat and then raised this up. Now I think I'm going to do it that way. I'm just going to lay it on there like that. Put that on there. And the other thing I had thought about doing as well is taking perhaps maybe one of these, and I don't know if that would work, and maybe this, and I think I will. And I'm going to stamp it on here because this is just a piece of scrap because I don't want to waste. And then I'll die cut those out so that I have some extra embellishment on there. So I'm just going to do that real quickly. So I've got those now. Okay, so let's get this card laid down here. Let's just do it. So we've got VBS again tonight. What time is it? It is 4:24. So I have about just enough time to lay this thing down and get cleaned up and get there. I try to get there a little bit early since I'm the director of it. That way I can take care of any problems that might arise or whatever. But it's been going very well, and I think we had 48 total kids. Some, came the first night and maybe missed the second night, and then some new ones came or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how many we get tonight. So that's pretty good for, I think, our church to get that many young kids in there. And hopefully we'll get even more tonight. Seems like as the week goes on, the kids bring more and more of their friends with them, so that's good. And my sister, who was working the craft room, gave him some flyers and said, hey, give these to your friends and see if you can get them to come with you. So we might have some more kids, so that'll be interesting to see. So she's been getting to work out that craft room, her and the other gal that's doing it. They've been very busy. They get to see all of the students because they rotate around, so they're pretty busy with that. So I like that. I think that looks pretty, and I think I'm going to like adding some additional embellishments to it. And I'm going this way because I think it'll kind of cover up some flaws if I go that way with it. So I'm just going to lay these down. And just kind of let them hang off that raised panel that I have there. And this is my finished card. So I used this blue paper. It's just called Brights. It's a Park Lane solid core cardstock. And it just says Brights on there. But I just like the pattern colors. Let me pull it in and show you. I just liked all these colors. I thought they were really pretty. And I liked that blue, and I just thought that would be really pretty. It's not a typical Christmas color that you see, but I like, I guess, non-standard or non-typical colors for my Christmas card. So I think it turned out fun. Probably could have done a little bit better job embossing with my embossing powder, but like I said, that's not my expertise, but I like this, just kind of tone on tone layer, and then that black Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I hope you like it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. I'd certainly appreciate it. So thanks, and have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.